Hey guys, it's Sean Ray. Welcome back to the channel, and today we have Mr. Gabriel here. Say hello.
Hey, how's it going, y'all?
So we wanted to go over, whenever I do a interview, it's normally about someone that's done really well on Airbnb and they killed it, and I think that it would be very beneficial to everyone that's getting started to see what can also happen if you go the opposite route. Now, he's done a great job with how to grab what was seeming to be a really good property, and it turns out to be a money pit, and then worked his way back into getting it in a profitable state, and now he's in the process of renovating it even more. And then also he's gonna put an option to sell it because he just is done with this headache, which at the end of this video, we'll tell you how you can possibly buy this house after he's basically done all the worst possible stuff to the house, and fixed it all. Wait, the worst possible stuff to the house.
Yeah.
The best possible thing from the worst things that happened in the house.
Exactly.
Anyways, so we are currently in Holly's house. If you guys, I think I'm gonna do like a freeze frame right here.
Cool.
Like, this is the thumbnail for Holly's video.
Okay.
But Holly recently, we did an interview in this area of the couch, and we talked about how she bought this house and how it was killer, and she rocked it out of the park, and then she sold it. She sold it to this guy. And so you bought it for
$246, I believe.
$246,
yeah.
And that included the furniture.
Yep. Well, no, I paid $5K on top of that for the furniture, which is still not bad. I mean, we have couches, chairs, all the kitchen appliances, and it's all loaded with pots and pans, 4 beds, so it was pretty stocked for $5K. Not the best furniture, but decent overall.
So whenever he first bought the house, if you guys remember the Holly video, she talked about how she was selling it, and then she basically had no vacancy as soon as she got in the house. She had a client come in, and they just kept on renewing month after month after month. So when he bought this house, when he put the offer in, it was basically with the assumption that this client that she already had was going to stay for another 2, 3, 4 months. So he was buying a literal turnkey investment because she was going to give him all the furniture, all the stuff, and already with the client in there that was paying. But due to what he's going to talk about, unforeseen circumstances, the extension of the home contract just kept going out. So why did it go so further past what we thought the close date was, and what was the situation with the client that was supposed to stay?
Sure, yeah. So basically what happened is we're supposed to have it done sooner, but whenever we had the gentleman come out to actually appraise the home, it was way above the value that she was, it was way below the value that she was asking for. She didn't like that. So we had another person come out and do an appraisal again, and then rescheduling of all that just took forever. And it was during, it was around the holidays. One was like around Halloween, I think is when we started. And then a lot of the other appraisal stuff that happened was like around Christmas. So there was just a lot of delays in general. And then when we finally started finishing everything up, it was like mid-January, and then the closing was finally, the beginning of February. So that was why that took so long for us to get in. We had several appraisers, and getting approval for those appraisers took a long time. So what happened with the people that were staying here, so we're 5 minutes walking from the front door of Southwestern Medical. And we had a mother and her son who was chemo patient. I think he's actually in remission now, which is awesome. But they were here doing chemo treatments the whole time. And so we didn't know how long they were gonna be here. I had them only for a month, 1 full month, and they were out. And that wasn't, that wasn't a lot of fun, but, as soon as I got them, that's when a lot of the headaches started happening. I don't know if you want me to start telling them about that.
So first, just so you guys know, appraisals are weird. Before we get into what happened next, which is insane, you guys gotta hear this. But appraisals are really weird. Whenever we got this house for Holly, which Holly only had the house for like 4 to 6 months, something like that. And whenever she got her appraisal, it came in at like 260, I think. 250, 260?
260, I think it was like 260 something. Yeah, it was a little above 260.
And we got her that deal, I can't do it off the top of my head, but I think it was like 220, 230 or something
230,
like that.
It was like low 230s, yeah, the first one.
And so she got it at a really good deal, and we're like, damn, we got some equity in this house, awesome. And so she's like, you know what, I just want to, just break even with everything I put into the house, and just make just enough to pay for commissions of realtors and stuff like that, because I was a realtor. And then she's like, I just want to break even, just give it away, right? And so he picked it up at pretty much for her. She didn't really make any money on it. She just kind of washed her hands of it. And so when he bought it at 250, we were under the assumption that it was still going to be appraised at that same 260, 250, 260 range. And then whenever it came back, it was appraising for like 220, 230. And that I think has something to do with the fact that she just bought it for 220, 230. And so then the appraisal was like, why would we appraise it for more than what you just bought it for? And then it's like, well, look at all these other houses in this area. But like, yeah, but those houses aren't comparable. And the first one was kind of hit or miss anyways. The appraiser had to really go out of the way to find something that might make sense. But now we have an exact thing 4 to 6 months ago for 220, 230. And so it's like, well, you know, how you argue against that.
Yeah.
And so it kind of put us in a hard place. And so when you guys are doing appraisals, they're always all over the map. You have to really fight hard to get the highest appraisal possible sometimes when you're in a situation like this.
Yep.
So you got into the house and you already had everything going. You already had the listing, you had the pictures, you had everything ready to rock.
Yep.
Seemingly it's going to be perfect. It's a perfect transition. Why did it not go so well?
Okay, so first weekend, so like probably a few days after I bought the house, we found out there were rats. And I mean, not just like we saw a rat or two, they were like dying on the furniture, like bleeding on stuff. And I have a chemo patient in my house, and I was like, I can't have this, happening. So I didn't just get a few, like venom boxes around the house and have a few things done. I had the entire insulation in the attic replaced because they were running around everywhere, like coming out of the freaking vents, crawling under the beds, like running across people's faces at night. It was disgusting, pooping on stuff. And so I had all that changed out. I had a bunch of them vacuumed out, and I had a lot of exclusion work done, which is basically when you close everything off with like metal so they can't chew through anything. And that was a nice hefty bill. But it also came with 10-year warranty, so if any pest ever comes near my house, they'll be taken care of for free. But I had to do that, obviously to make them comfortable. So that was fine, taken care of. And then they were out like 2-3 weeks later. And that's right when COVID hit. And so I had a couple bookings, so it was fine. They were there for a month. I had a couple bookings right after they left. And then in between a couple bookings, I walked into this bedroom right behind where we're sitting and noticed there were termites chewing through the sheetrock, right? Mm-hmm. Termites don't even eat sheetrock. Like, I don't know why they did that. They like paper. So they were probably just looking for food. I'm like, okay, there's a termite colony growing inside of this bedroom. So that was fun. So yeah, we basically had rats, which cost a ton of money. We had COVID, which, didn't allow me to make any money. And then we had termites. And then I found in the back bedroom, on top of that there was some water coming in from somewhere. So we had like 4 major things all happen within like a month and a half of, even buying the property.
So how'd you handle before we go forward, I think it needs to be said that he got an inspection on his property. And so it wasn't as if he, like anybody watching the comments below, you're like, this guy's an idiot, he should have known better. So Holly didn't have any of these issues. Now, Holly left him with the bag, and it wasn't the best scenario ever, but in Holly's defense, she's a super honest, integrous person and cool as hell. We're still friends with Holly, and she had no clue. Like, she really didn't know. I don't think she sold it because she knew, and she's like, oh, I hope they don't find out. I really don't. Whenever we were talking about it, she was doing everything she can to help him out with, whatever it was that you guys negotiated. And it was an unfortunate situation, but none of this was his fault. The inspector said everything's fine. None of this was Holly's fault. It just is one of those things. It's just like a tornado hit.
Yeah.
Like, whose fault is that? I don't know. Global warming, I guess. Yeah. But okay, so whenever you found out that there was water leakage and termites, did you just leave it, or what did you do?
No. I immediately closed all bookings. Like I took Airbnb off, and then I was like, okay, well, I got to fix this. I had to find out where the water was coming from, because then I'd probably find out where the termites were coming from. I paid for someone else to take care of the termites, so I also have warranty on that. And then I had to find out where the water damage was coming in from. And so I found that it was coming from a valley on the roof, if you guys know roofing at all. Anyways, basically leaking into the walls. And so I was like, well, there's some issues with the siding. The siding is essentially like vinyl and then foam board, and then behind that was shiplap wooden siding, probably from 1955 when the house was built. Yeah. And so we ripped all that up. I did that myself. And then ended up finding that there were a bunch of studs that were eaten by termites, had water damage on it. So I put new studs in, took out all the insulation, took the windows out, like literally completely redid the side of the house myself. Saved myself a ton of money, but it was a huge headache. I had to actually I actually had to find out how long it was going to take me doing this myself versus paying a contractor to see what would save me more money, even having Airbnb guests. And I found that it was still cheaper taking, you know, like a month and a half doing it myself, 2 months of me doing it myself. So to give you an idea how much work that was, it probably would have been like upwards of 15 grand what I did.
How much did you end up spending for it?
Like 3, 4, maybe. Yeah. So I saved myself a lot of money. Yeah.
I would have no idea what to do. I would have cost way more money.
Yeah.
End up burning the house down somehow. I don't know.
Yeah. So luckily, I don't have a ton of construction knowledge. I have a decent bit of construction knowledge. I have a lot of good friends, and so I was able to help or get some help over here to do it all. But yeah, it was a headache and a half. So we did get it done though.
So what do you do in your daytime?
So my daytime job, I do property inspections, not for real estate like he does, or has people do for his properties, but for storm-related damages. So like hail, wind, water backup, like pipe bursts, anything like that. Anything that has to do with insurance, I will squeeze the insurance money to get you more money. So I'm like Robin Hood. You know?
Cool. Yeah. I still remember whenever you went to my Smurf house and you saw there's a roof on top of a roof.
Oh yeah,
and there was just like a pipe that was just like not even connected.
So crazy.
Oh man, I still need to get something done with that. I don't know.
That was gnarly. Well, I fixed that.
The pipes are good?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
okay,
the pipes are good. Yeah, I took care of that.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, no problem, man. Got you.
Let's start going through all the numbers for all the people that like to write notes whenever they're watching videos. So let's start off. How did you pay for the house? It was you paid how much again?
So I think down payment was right around
30,000.
Yeah.
Okay, so you didn't put 5% down.
No, it was more. Yeah. Right, that's more than 5% for those who are better at math than I am. Yeah.
Yeah. So why didn't you go? So that wasn't 5%, and also wasn't 25%. So why?
Because that was. I mean, so it's really hard to get my income verified because I'm, self-employed, and I had to jump through a bunch of hoops, and that's what my lender was able to get me. Even who's
Derek.
Derek, yeah. Even Derek couldn't help me out. So I had to go to someone in Florida, who sent me someone in Colorado, who sent me to someone in California, and they were awesome. They jumped through all the hoops, and they were able to help give me. I don't remember if it was like a private loan or what it was, honestly, at this point. But they found me the best possible rate that I could get. I had a really low interest rate. I think it was like below 4%.
Nice.
And so I just had to pay, that down payment, whatever the percentage of that would be. So I think it was like 15 or something like that.
Yeah, it sounds around 15% down.
Yeah.
Something like that.
So it was good. I was happy with it. So that plus the $5K for the furniture was.
So down payment was how much?
30.
And then furniture?
And then
5.
Yeah.
And then she paid closing costs?
I believe so. Yep, she did. Yeah.
Okay, so normally closing costs for a home like this is going to be maybe $2,000, $2,500, something like that. And so he didn't have to pay that.
Yeah.
And so now you're in.
Yeah.
You have the house. And then did you put anything else in the house before everything started going to pieces?
Nope, I didn't do a single dang thing. No, it was okay just as it was. I think I might have just adjusted a couple things here and there, maybe a little paint, but nothing major. No.
Okay. And so the amount of money that you spent to fix all the rats and the termites and ripping everything off, it was $3 grand?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. $3 grand was like $4 grand was just the siding, right? So the rats and the termites were probably like $12K.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay. That's expensive.
Yeah. Because you got to remember with the rats, we did exclusion work all around the house. I mean, I found areas where, in the siding where they could come in, some of the pipes, like not just the plumbing, but also like gas line behind the stove. There was holes that were big enough for mice and rats to come through. We did metal work around there, heater, like everywhere that you could think of that we could potentially find a hole. We got all of that closed up. So that, and all the insulation is like, I think it's like organic insulation, and it's also collapsing insulation, which is kind of a fun fact. Whenever you have rats, they make trails in your attic in the insulation, so they know where to go. With this kind of insulation, it collapses behind them, so they can't get through.
You just use spray foam.
Yeah, you can do spray foam, which would have been a little bit more expensive, and this stuff is pretty high quality anyways. Cool. So that's why that costs a lot, and 10 years of coverage. So you got to remember that.
You could have just got stray cats.
I could have got stray cats, yeah, but that would have taken forever, and my chemo patient would have probably still had rats, dying. Yeah,
it's going to be about 3 months, but they'll kill all the rats eventually.
Yeah. So no, I wanted to take care of it like now because of who I had in the home. I didn't want it. I didn't want them staying here.
Sense.
So.
And so that's all, right? And then now,
yeah. So it was that. So I was probably around 15K with those three things. So with the water damage, the rats, and termites.
And then it was 15K for you to get in here.
15. Yeah, it was 30K for me to get in. 35K.
35.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Down payment. Down payment 30,000. Furniture 5,000, and then 15,000 ish, give or take, for all of the issues with the water, the rats, and the termites, and whatever COVID cost me.
Yeah. COVID. So 45.
Yeah.
Okay. So what were you averaging per month on this property when you first got it, or even now? Has it changed from the first time you got it to now?
Yeah, it has a little bit. So we finally got it listed, I think, mid-June. In mid-June, I think we were just under cost. So I think, so the mortgage payment is about $1,800, maybe just a little under. The utilities probably just a couple hundred, really not that bad here, especially since I put a new insulation on this wall. So, and then property management, probably around $2,400 is what the cost is. And I think we're at like 2,000, maybe a little over 2,000 for 2 weeks in June. So that was good. July was great. I think it was like 4,000 or something like that. August, I think it was like, no, sorry, July was like 5,000. August was like 4, and then October was like 4, maybe a little under actually. And now it's been floating like around 35, something like that. So I'm going to say my average is probably just right around 4,000 revenue. So right. Yeah, so it should be right around there. So I'm pocketing like 1,000 to 1,500, a month. And I've just been trying to save that to recoup, the cost of everything, which you guys have heard of. So yeah, just about that. And yeah, hopefully we can make some more with some of the things we're going to talk about here in a little bit. But yeah, that's essentially what I'm making currently.
Cool. And so I believe this property is a 5,500 minimum to 6,500 max.
I hope so.
If he were to actually take care of the property. So I think we have been doing some overlay while we're talking of the tour of the house.
Yes.
So you guys have a general idea of like what it currently looks like. And so keep in mind, this is not how it's going to stay. And so we're going to make sure that he puts, I'm thinking about $4,000, maybe $5,000 into building out the inside, making it look really nice, getting some TVs hung up, like just basically bringing this thing to life. And then with that investment, I'm thinking it's going to bring in an extra $2,000 a month. And so I think that he can recoup the cost starting in, I think that the investment that he would take into making plants and all these kind of decorations, the extra income he can make will probably be balanced out, like cut down to even with the amount of profit he's making by the new, better pictures. The pictures are kind of depressing on his listing as well. There's really weird lights and stuff, and it just looks kind of like a scary house. So like, I'd be scared to list it. Or
it worked for Halloween.
Yeah, but I'm thinking the new pictures and all the new decorations like that will get him up into around February, March. I think he'll start pretty much averaging $5,500 or $5,500 a month to $6,500. So that will make it up, and so that would be nice.
Yeah.
And so, do you know what your revenue has been for this entire year?
I do not. I don't think I've done the numbers. So let me see. With what I made, so we'll just say 2,800 is what I got that first month, and then if we just average it out, like 4K for
you can take your time.
July, August, September, October, November. That's 5 months. We'll just say like 5 months.
You can even pull up your phone.
4 times 5 is 20. So like 23,000 in like 6 months, 7 months. Yeah, because I didn't have it online. Right, it was offline for April and May and half of June. So yeah, and I think I had like 2 bookings in March, and then February is when I had clients in here or whatever. Okay. So yeah, so it'd be February. We'll just count February, June as 1 month, and then July, August, September, October, November, and then we're in December. Okay. So we can average that by like 4K. 4 times 7.
So how much? So
4 times 5 is 20.
I don't know. I'm doing so I can cut.
Yeah. 28,000.
So how much did you make? Basically having this property for 6 months this year.
Yeah. So just right around like 24,000, I think 25,000, something like that in revenue.
And so I know you probably saw my last video with Angie, which is really interesting if you guys want to ever invest in Airbnb properties. He spent about $100,000, a little more than $100,000 less than Angie did on this house. And so he actually saved money going in, and he saved money, a lot of money. He only spent $5,000 basically on furnishing this place out. So he saved a lot of money on this property. But although Angie spent so much more and the house is $100,000 more, new nice houses with nice furniture and nice pictures do significantly more. And so if you guys watched that last video with Angie, he was talking about they basically listed their property at the same time. And in 6 months, he did almost $80,000, between $70,000 to $80,000 in 6 months. And so the same amount of time, he did less than 30. And that just goes to show you the power of investing in your property and just trying not to be cheap. No offense.
No, yeah, I was trying to recoup costs. And honestly, at that point, we started getting bookings. We're pretty filled up. And so I didn't have a reason to do anything up, or at the time, because I had guests come in that were happy with the property. So
yeah. So right now with my Star Street property that I recently bought, I was in the same boat. I'm averaging about $4,500 to $5,500 a month on that property, but I feel like it could be a $7K to $7,500K a month property. But since I started getting so many bookings, it started becoming so regular that I just kind of let it go. I just let it stay throughout basically I bought it in like June or July. Okay. And I just basically just been taking revenue on it. But then I decided, you know what, this is not what I bought this property for. I bought this property for $7,000 or so a month, and I can't be happy with just being lazy. I'm not calling you lazy. I can't be happy with being lazy and just taking the $5,000 check a month. And so that's when I invested $20,000 in the property. It's going to be $25,000 by the time I'm done, to make it look better. And so it's still in the process right now. You're still in the process. Yeah. So what we plan on doing in this property for him is we're going to replace a lot of furniture, get a lot of plants, get some art on the walls, hopefully do some can lighting. He's going to go in the back and then maybe build a deck because he's really he's good with his hands. Mm-hmm. And just make the property look sexier. Make some color pop, get some rugs around, kind of break up the rooms, and hopefully curtains.
Yeah, curtains are coming for sure. Curtains, headboards, the curtains and the headboards I can do. So that'll be fine. But yeah, it's more moving around the furniture, but hopefully we can get it above 5K after we're done with all of that, which I wasn't able to until this point. Now in the holidays, I have a little bit more time. I don't work as much in the wintertime, and then we can get it all done. So luckily I've been making enough money since, we had it listed, but now it's time to make a little bit more money.
Yeah. And if you guys are in the Dallas area and you want to reach out to him and help him out, then you can always find him on his Instagram.
Yep, it is Kaiser Ephemeris. I know that's kind of difficult, but EEP, I mean, it's like ephemeral. If you know the word ephemeral,
I'll put there you go,
do that, because it's going to be too tough. I made up the word, sorry guys.
Yeah, so if you guys want to reach out to him and be like, hey, I saw your video, I would love to help you out with design, here's some design ideas, whatever. We're not designers, we're doing our best, but that's not what I do. I'm a real estate agent, I'm about the numbers of real estate. Yeah. And he's definitely just a dude.
Yeah, I'm just a dude.
As you can tell by the house.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And so we're going to try to get this property. We'll update you guys in the future once it's all done. But lastly, what's the deal with selling it? And you guys can buy this house now that it's all been taken care of, and now he's gone through all the headaches for you. Mm-hmm. It's no longer a money pit, and so it's only going to become more profitable now. And so if you guys like the numbers that we just went over and you guys want that for yourself, he's going to be selling it, but why?
I would like to probably put it into a different property, but the plan right now is to list it with all of the renovations in mind. Not really renovations, but fixing it to make it functional, like with the rat issues, the termites, the water leaks, changing the siding out. The pricing is going to reflect that, and if I don't get what I'm asking for, that's fine, because I'm going to be dumping money into it to hopefully make more on Airbnb. So the plan is to upgrade it so it looks nicer on Airbnb, see how it does then, while also having it listed for what I think will be a fair market value, considering all the upgrades that we've done to make the home functional again. So that's I think the best way to go about it, because if I don't get what I'm asking for, hopefully I'll still be making more money while I'm waiting.
Exactly. And so we're definitely going to list it higher than it probably should be. But with his, after the renovations, we can actually upload the revenue stream from Airbnb onto the MLS. And we can say, you know, this might not make sense for a first-time homeowner because of the price, but if you're trying to get into Airbnb, this is the monthly revenue that we're currently doing. You can buy the property with all the furniture, and you know, you just come in and you can just start making that money right away. Full transparency. That way, anybody's trying to get started the game and they don't want to spend a whole ton of money, you can basically put this all under a 5% down loan and get in here for $15,000, $20,000 max.
Yeah, and it really is like a great spot. Like I said, 5-minute walk to the front door of Southwestern Medical, 5-minute drive to left field, you know, maybe 7-minute drive to downtown. So it's a good, consistent home. It just needs to be done up in a few other ways that it just got to be a little bit too much. But like I said, for me, I've been consistent. If I didn't have all of those issues, I would have been happy with where I was at starting off with the home. You know.
Last thing, 2021 goals.
2021 goals, get one more Airbnb property for sure. So my goal is just one a year until I start making money like you. So yeah, just one other newer property.
Yeah.
And so we'll probably try to find that, I would say, towards the beginning to middle of the year. So probably springtime, maybe even the end of winter. So that's the only goal that I have currently, besides building my tiny home, which is going to be awesome, and fixing up my old truck. Which will
you putting the tiny home back here?
No, that's going to be mine to live in, dude.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I do have plans for that eventually, depending on how this house goes. Take down that shed and build something stationary back here. But for now, no, the tiny home's all for me. Yeah.
If you guys would like to see, if you stayed to the end and you guys would like to see him build out the tiny home, like a step-by-step time-lapse thing, and then afterwards him Airbnb it whenever he's out of town or something like that, and see how much he can make per night versus how much he spent on it. If that interests you guys, then let me know, comment below, and then maybe we can talk about doing a little video series on it.
Yeah, for sure.
So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Check him out on Instagram if you guys want to help him out, or if you guys are looking to buy a house.
Contractor also can help you with that as well. Yeah.
If you guys need, if you guys want to look at the house, we're gonna be listing it in January. Right now it's December 2020, so probably list in January after the holidays and after all the renovations are done. So look out for that. Hopefully, guys, this inspired you. Don't give up. Even in the worst of times, Airbnb allows us to make enough money on the back end to not make it the most horrible situation. If there was a long-term rental and you were making $100 a month, can you imagine?
No, I could
not.
Yeah.
15 grand?
No,
I mean,
no, would take me years to recoup that.
Forever.
Yeah,
it would take you
literally
like
forever.
I mean, never.
According to my math, it would be forever.
Yeah, an eternity.
Yeah, exactly, exactly that long.
So even though this wasn't the perfect scenario, thank God Airbnb was there to still give him the money that he needed to save him. So thanks for doing this interview.
Appreciate y'all.
Yep, hopefully it helped you guys out. See you in the next video.
Cool. Oh, how's it going, neighbor? What are you doing in my house? Welcome.
Remember, they have no audio, so. Okay.
So what am I supposed to do? Point at stuff?
Just point at stuff in general, like you talked about. Just try to stay relatively slow movements, just because I have to keep you in frame. Show off the kitchen.
I don't know what to do with no audio. It's so awkward.
You can talk. Just let me edit it out.
So funny.
This is a bathroom.
Bathroom, tiny bathroom. You can see it all from right here. There you go. Don't look in there. This is actually the nicest looking room, in my opinion. But it's just cozy. I like the colors. We have pillows. Pillows are fluffy. This is soft. Lights work?
Lights work. Oh, look at this sexy beast.
Yeah, that's fun. Yeah. You can see where they close some stuff off. That's a blast. But it closes, that's what's important.
And the door closes.
Here's the thermostat. So we do have central heating and air conditioning. We have a really lovely view.
Yeah. Hey, it's all
my neighbor's house.
This is gonna be pure white.
So I guess I should have moved this bed. Sean, so you're saying you like this color more?
Which color? I think warm is much better than bright, like sterile white. Oh yeah, you gotta show where the termites were. Or the water leakage or whatever.
Yeah. So termites were like right here, but now they're gone. You can actually kind of see where I fixed some of it, but yeah, it doesn't even look like they were here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they were climbing through the wall, and that was fun. And now it's good. I'm happy.
Nice.
This is where the water leak was, so that was a lot of fun. But now, yeah, this was all like blowing out, cracked. I had to rip out the window, put it back in, and then re-mud everything. So it's good now, though.
I like that you're using your hands because later on it's gonna be like.
I don't know what else to do. I got like weird, funny socks.
Yeah.
And now the last bathroom with this light switch that barely fits between the trim and the.
Yeah, this place these lights just make it look like a murder scene. I don't know.
It's the bare essentials.
Yeah.
It's the bare essentials.
The bare necessities of life. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Go for it.
It's big. It's big. So yeah. This is actually a pretty spacious closet.
Bare necessities of life. Oh my goodness.
That's just
This is a selling point.
This is a selling point. Dude, everything is basically fixed now. The plumbing, the freaking furnace, God, dude, everything.
Yeah.
Which is good. That stuff drives me nuts.
Yeah.
There's not someone who can. Oh, yeah. I gotta change this railing. It's the best.
Yeah.
Not much going on here, but you know, it's there. If you need to be in a place that's behind your house.
Yeah. Oh, this is the best audio so far.